Well, John, that was a quiet and low-key affair. What a great win.
It's a smashing game. You know, when we pop it about, we can look as good as anyone, as I said last week. But the goals that we conceded, we're disappointed with, and it's given them an opportunity to get back into the game. But I thought the lads showed great character again. You know, I spoke to them in there about it. I've seen it several times since myself and Jimmy have been back, and hopefully it'll continue. You know, as we said before, other Accrington teams I've had, and that's no disrespect to them, would have gone under the big crowd, let a 2-goal lead slip. You know, we wouldn't have gone again. And so, testament to the players. You know, they're the ones who should take all the plaudits.
Conceivably, it could have been any score, really, couldn't it? There were chances all over the park.
Well, I think there was a couple of big turning points in the game. I think their first goal, you know, we feel it's disappointing from our point of view. So that gave them a big shot of adrenaline. You know, there was the penalty miss as well, but I think probably the big turning point was Jack's save 5 minutes into the second half, when, you know, Portsmouth were building their heads of steam up. You know, let's make no bones about it. You know, the home record's been very good here, and they're a very, very good side, a strong side. I've watched them on numerous occasions. I actually saw them firsthand myself the last time we played against Samia, and I know that they were really unlucky not to get a result in that game. So we knew it was going to be difficult coming here, but we've got a belief in the players, and we've got them to believe in each other, that they can compete, they can pass the ball as well as anybody, and they can compete as well as anybody, and they showed that today.
Lots will be made of your attacking flair and the goals that you've scored, but you've mentioned him already. Jack Rose, your goalkeeper, was superb today. Well,
he made a great save. You know, I think he'll probably be disappointed with the first one, but and he's been a little bit unlucky with the second one because he slipped. But you know, he's a young lad learning his trade, and you know, as Jimmy said on the bench, he wouldn't have played in as big a game as this. You know, so that'll only add to his experience, and it'll become better for it.
Going the other way, you were losing players. John O'Sullivan was unplayable for 45 minutes and you had to replace him. You had to make, I presume, 3 changes for injuries today.
Well, you know, we tried to keep John on as long as possible, but you know, he wanted to go out for the second half. He's tried to run, and when he's come back and it's stiffened up, so that was going to be a no-go. You know, obviously losing Rob as well is a blow. And, you know, Dean going in there, he hasn't played centre-half for a while, so it took him a little bit of time to adjust. But, you know, I think all the lads who came on, you know, did the part, played the part, and, you know, Seamus was like a little wasp. You know, he made it so difficult for them. And he was instrumental in setting up Piero's goal.
And you mentioned the occasion and the atmosphere, 14,000 crowd, 80 odd from Accrington. Does that show how far you've come, that you're competing and winning games like this?
It does, and it shows how far we've come, because we'd have been disappointed if we'd lost today. If someone had said that to you 10 years ago, they'd have been counting you away in a white coat, or with a white coat on. But, you know, we've just got to believe in ourselves. You know, the problem that we have is every time we win, everybody above us wins. So I think we've only climbed 2 places, but, you know, we've got to keep competing. Tuesday will take care of itself. And these are the games that we've got to win if we're going to try and get where we want to be at the end of the season.
I suppose you've emphatically answered the question whether minds would be on Yeovil in the FA Cup.
Well, now it is, isn't it? You know, that today's gone. Today was our primary focus, and now today's gone, and now we've got to get back, and you know, we've got to pick a team for Tuesday. You know, obviously without 2 of the players who started there, although 1 has come off injured anyway, and you know, we've got to go again, and you know, it's going to be another tough game. We expect a tough game, but I'm sure Yeovil expecting a tough game off us.
And finally, how was the blood pressure on the touchline in that 4 minutes of stoppage time?
I don't know. I don't think we ever really looked like we were going to concede. If anything, I thought we were the ones who looked as though we were going to score again. It's far more comfortable on their bench because the seats are padded and nice and comfy. And I said to Jimmy before the game that they're more comfier than our couch that we had at Sligo.